Hello Rangers, and welcome to Ranger Ruby YouTube channel. In today's video, I'll be going over campfire safety inside national parks. Let's go ahead and dive right on in. Now, you might be thinking to yourself right now, campfire safety, isn't that kind of like a random topic to be talking about right now? And although yes, it kind of is, also no, because campfire safety has one of the most iconic symbols of the National Park Service in general. Smokey the Bear. Come on, we've all seen Smokey the Bear in whatever iteration they had of him going on at the time. Smokey the Bear is one of the most iconic symbols of the United States government. And honestly, it's a super cool symbol, but actually it's not created by the National Park Service at all. Smokey the Bear is actually created by the U.S. Forest Service, which is in the Department of Agriculture, not the Department of the Interior, which is what the National Park Service is in. So it's not even a symbol of the national parks. Although sometimes the national forests and the national parks do mix, so Smokey the Bear is still important and the lessons that he teaches still apply to us. So let's go ahead and talk about them. Before you start your campfire, know this: the local rules. Each park has their own rules on where and when you can have a campfire. Know those before you start one. And 2, know the fire conditions. Has it been windy and dry lately? That might mean that campfires are banned or that other special rules or restrictions are in effect. Again, contact the park when you arrive or shortly before you visit to find out if there's a burn ban or other weather-related rules that you need to know before you begin the process. And next, before again you start lighting the campfire, make sure that the objects in your campsite, such as tent gear and any other flammable objects, are at least 15 away from the site of the fire. If you are lighting a fire inside the national park, kindling and wood should be bought near the campground or collected in the general area if the rules permit doing that. Keep in mind this is not allowed in many national parks, however. Bringing wood from far away or from home can also bring along pests that will flee your burning wood and potentially invade the environment and cause a bunch of new problems, so we don't want that to happen. Next is the actual construction of the fire. There are many ways to arrange your firewood before you start burning. Fire needs air to grow, so don't just stack your wood in like a dense pile. One way to start is by layering larger pieces of wood in a crosshatch pattern, making a small tower. Then placing plenty of kindling, such as dry leaves, small twigs, etc., and a fire starter in the gaps between the wood. Also remember, when lighting a fire, that bark doesn't burn as well as the rest of the wood. So chopping your wood into thinner pieces to expose more of the interior will get your fire going faster. When starting the actual fire though, be sure to use matches or a lighter on your fire starter to ignite it. It should then catch the rest of your kindling, which should then eventually catch the larger pieces of wood on fire. If you want your fire to last longer, keep this in mind. Your fire will burn quite quickly if your firewood is extremely dry. Wetter wood will burn slower, but you don't want it to get too wet or else it won't catch on fire at all. Wet wood will smoke way more than dry wood, so if you have extra firewood, keep it stacked up the wind of your fire so that a sudden breeze won't light the rest of the wood on fire. And keep the fire small so it stays under control. Remember, don't ever start something bigger than you feel comfortable with. Now, once you have the fire going inside your campground, keep a couple things in mind. Remember, keep your fire close enough to toast marshmallows, but far enough away that it won't burn yourself. We don't want you guys to get hurt. And remember to watch all children's, pets, and wildlife. Also remember that some things, when they are burned, can produce toxic gases, so be sure to remember what you're putting inside the fire, because that can affect the rest of your campsite very dangerously. Remember to always be prepared for emergencies, so have something by hand to quickly be able to put out the fire and stop it in case something goes wrong. And finally, be sure to completely put out your fire. All good things must come to an end, but if your campfire is too hot to touch, don't leave it or go to sleep. Whitish or gray coals can retain heat for hours and hours and cause a flare-up if the wind starts gusting. So even if there are no more open flames, spread out your coals as best you can. And if you have water available, be sure to douse your fire and coals with plenty of water when you're ready to call it a night. And if you have no water, in a pinch, use sand and dirt. However, don't simply just kick the sand and dirt onto your fire. Sometimes that can just create more fuel for it. So remember to try and put out the fire the best you possibly can in order to prevent unwanted wildfires. Well, everybody, that is the end in today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please be sure to give this video a huge thumbs up and comment down below with your thoughts. I'd love to hear from you. Also, be sure to click that red subscribe button and a little bell next to it to always know when I post new videos. Thank you so much for watching again, and I shall see you next video. Bye!